Alright, Godzilla 2. I just finished watching it in theaters. It was awesome. It was an amazing movie. I definitely think you need to go watch it like now because it's really fun to watch. It's just super good, really amazing. Colors, lights, action, everything. It's awesome. Um, Alright, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. So just let you know now, spoiler alert. Ready? Okay, so let you know a little bit about me. I've been a Godzilla fan for 20 years now. Um, Ever since I was little, I watched everything from the Showa era, Heisei to the Millennium, now Reiwa era. So I have most of the movies here. I lent some out um, to people so that way they could get into it and they could go watch this movie too. Um, and I think it did the franchise justice. This has the best Godzilla fight scenes out of any Godzilla movie out there. Better than the Netflix, better than Shin Godzilla, which I thought was amazing, and definitely better than the fight scenes from the last Legendary movie. And that's just because the last one was cut kind of short. I mean, the last one where he like smacked the wing Mudo into the building was the shit, but this one really gives you everything. So right off the bat, it starts off with Godzilla coming out. Starts off with King Ghidorah coming out. It gives you Mothra right away as a larva hatching from the egg. And I'm a Godzilla fan, so I feel like any Godzilla fan who watches this is going to love it. It's going to be a badass movie. So if you're a Godzilla fan, get in immediately. If you're not, get in immediately anyway because it's awesome. So a couple of my favorite scenes in the movie are going to be the last fight scene, which I think will be everybody's favorite. The last fight scene because you get Mothra and you get Rodan fighting, which is actually a little bit more of a compelling fight than Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Even though it's a little bit shorter, they kind of build up Mothra for you. You feel for her a little bit to her. And there's a point where you think she's gonna die, and it just kind of breaks your heart a little bit. But then she comes out on top versus Rodan, and they all kind of have these like new powers too. So like, I think the only one who doesn't have new power is Rodan, and he's not like the Fire Rodan from Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. So he doesn't like shoot any kind of flame or anything like that. But he is like super agile, and he does these really cool moves. Mothra has a little stinger on her. King Ghidorah can like absorb energy, and then Godzilla gets this like nuclear pulse, which is fucking badass. It's literally the most badass thing I've ever seen. I got to watch the fight scene from like Ready Player One and then Avengers Endgame, and that was fucking badass. That was like the most badass thing I had seen. But this shit is like the most badass. I think the Godzilla franchise is doing this whole like Mortal Kombat fatality thing that they're like getting into now because the end of Godzilla 2014 was the shit. This one topped that. So you gotta go watch that. That's actually my second favorite part. It's second. It's not like it's not my least favorite. It's actually probably my favorite part was when Godzilla turns into this like burning Godzilla form where he's like melting down kind of the same way in Godzilla vs. Destroyer. He's not like he doesn't have one spot on his chest that's just like a little bit more orange and all that. He's completely burning and he's walking, he's melting the city down, so all the concrete, all the steel is just melting down, and then he just fucking pulses and like completely just incinerates Ghidorah's wings. He pulses again, fucking like melts the two heads on him, and it's just the one. He like stands on him triumphantly, and then like they give you this wide shot where he's like, you just see like the pulse kind of melting into the ground, like from the sky, and then it goes back in, and then out of nowhere you just see like Ghidorah's head peek out, and you're like, what the fuck? How did he survive that? But he didn't. He's in like Godzilla's mouth, and like he's getting swallowed, and it's just the head getting swallowed. And at some point, Godzilla's like, I can't fucking eat this thing, and he just explodes it, like Mortal Kombat style. So it was super cool. It was definitely really fun to watch that. And there's like a lot of other cool stuff too. So like if you're a fan, you'll get a lot of Easter eggs. You get to see when Serizawa actually goes and saves Godzilla versus killing him, which is pretty neat. What else do they do? Rodan comes out of a volcano. They call him King Ghidorah, Monster Zero. I'm sure there's some other stuff that I didn't get to see in there, or that I'm not thinking about right now. That was kind of neat for fans. Oh, there's also like the genetic, like the Titans DNA being trafficked like through the black market, which is kind of cool because that's also stuff that happened in Godzilla vs. Biollante. And it kind of opens that door up for like the Heisei stuff to be able to happen if they were going to continue the franchise. But at the end, you get to see the end credit scene. And with the end credit scene, it's Ghidorah's severed heads, one of the ones that happens earlier because he is an alien, so he has like these alien powers and these regeneration powers. So one of his heads actually stays in Charles Dance, Tywin Lannister, the guy who's kind of like the dealer for most of the Titan stuff. He ends up buying the head at the end, which kind of gives you the idea that there might be like a Mecha King Ghidorah deal happening. And then they also say, you know, Godzilla's on our side for now. So going into Godzilla versus Kong, that kind of sets it up because Kong's on the human side. Godzilla's on really the Earth side. So if he sees the humans as a threat, that could be like a setup for Kong and Godzilla to fight. And who knows? We might see King Kong beat Godzilla at the end of this, just like he did in the 1962 one. So I'm hoping not, because I'm a Godzilla fan. I kind of want to see him whoop his ass, but I don't know. We'll see, because maybe they could keep the Kong franchise going and they'll just go that route. Who knows? But I'm hoping for Mecha King Ghidorah. And you do get to see a little bit of Kong. So there's like a part where they're showing all the 17 Titans coming out. And you see Kong just turn a little bit. His back is a little bit wider, so he's more of that like silverback gorilla. It's not really much, but it just show you him a little bit. So I can't wait for that one. And as far as like talking about the whole beef that people had with like the characters, you go to the movies to see Godzilla fight. You don't really go for the characters. The characters are good. They work. They're part of the film. They actually do interact with Godzilla. There's a lot that they do. They're fun. Some of the jokes are a little bit clumsy, so they don't come off as well as they should. But hey, you know, you're there to see Godzilla. If you go to see Godzilla and you take Godzilla more as the character rather than the monster, I think you'll have a lot more fun watching it. Same with all the other ones. All the monsters are actually characters. They're not just monsters. So definitely go in with that in mind. Especially if you were like a critic. If you're a big critic of movies, remember it's not Forrest Gump. It's not going to be an Oscar winner. Be a little bit optimistic. Go in, have fun, and just munch out on some popcorn. And you'll have a lot of fun. So I really recommend it. I think everybody should go see it at least 10 times. And yeah, it's an awesome movie. I don't know. It's Godzilla. What more can you ask for?